So I sat down today with Caroline Tran, a fashion stylist and brand consultant, who joined us today to chat all things about wedding planning. So at the time and day of recording this episode, she's actually getting married in 4 weeks. So she has an impeccable sense of style, which undoubtedly is going to play a huge significant role in her wedding planning. So we really sit down and discuss all the fashion tips, potentially what she's kind of wearing. She gives away lots of style advice and fashion tips for those who are looking to really elevate their wedding wardrobe and wedding gown on the day. So tune into this episode. It's a really good one. Welcome to the podcast. Tell us, we're doing a planning kind of interview today. When are you getting married?
I'm getting married in less than a month.
In less than a month. So we were just talking offline. You've got a wedding planner and we're not really, whereabouts are we in the wedding planning process?
So everything is locked in, but there are just like a few questions up in the air and like some very major details that I will not answer my planner that you will be speaking to shortly about. She's at this point where she sends me eyeball emojis and I feel like I'm the delinquent client that never gets back to her. So sorry, Georgie, in advance.
And we're only like 4 weeks away.
We're 4 weeks away. I'm in denial about that. I keep thinking in my head that it's like 7-8 weeks away and everyone's like, no, your wedding's in a month.
Yeah, so you technically should have most things planned and organised by now.
Yes.
So poor Georgie, maybe we'll touch base with her after this and find out.
Yeah, maybe we could have a little session together after.
Yeah, we might need a little mini episode to plan together and just finalise a few things.
Or I can be like the podcast about last minute brides.
Yes. So, I mean, how did you first, let's just roll back a little bit actually. How did you and your partner meet?
So James and I met over 10 years ago through a mutual friend. We were quite young, like we were just fresh out of uni and we've been together for a really long time. And I've actually been engaged for 2 years, maybe over 2 years. Probably end of this year will be coming up to 3 years. And I just feel like nothing in our life was going to change when we got married. So I was just kind of took my time with it. But I'm like, no, this year I am doing it. I've probably had Georgie on the books for maybe a couple of years. I probably reached out to her 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And now it is happening and it will happen.
Yeah. So you got the ball rolling probably in the planning process not too long ago,
Yeah. And
really.
I kind of like started saving things. Like I wasn't ever that girl with a hectic Pinterest mood board, but I had like ideas in the back of my head, kind of was looking for dresses, but not like hardcore. And I know that I work better under pressure, and that is probably a testament because of my career and my job, but I'm a last minute gal.
Yeah. And we were just talking offline before you'd actually purchased a gown.
Yes.
Run us through this. What happened?
I got a dress from the Row and I could still wear it, but I probably will not. But I saw it on the runway, and as soon as I saw it on the runway, I was like, I have to have this dress. And I texted a really great guy that I work with at the Row in New York, and he was like, yep, I'll put your name down for it. There's not going to be many of them, so I'll let you know as soon as it's in. And then when it came in, he was like, you have to buy it. There's 2 of them. And I was like, okay, cool, I'll buy it. Shipped it to Australia. And then again, with my avoidant personality, I never actually tried it on, but I just knew that I really liked it. But I think cycling through so many ideas and dresses and moods and themes, I was like, I actually don't think this is very good on me. And I kind of envisaged something else. I probably end up selling it. I know that you have this new website, so I might do it there. I don't know, but
what does it actually look like? Is it silk?
It's like pretty incredible because they don't often make pieces like this. It's like strapless, kind of like with a train, and the fabric is like this incredible like silk crinkle ivory. Like it's an amazing piece, and everyone thinks that I should keep it to wear to a black tie event. I don't know, I feel like I need to let it go.
Why do you think it didn't suit you?
I think it is too much fabric for my body. I'm 5'2", I'm quite small, and I don't know, like the Row is one of my favorite brands. So I was like, oh, I'm going to be this like minimal bride, and it just, I don't know, like it's so beautiful, but I don't know if it was doing anything for my body.
And can you tell us who you've then decided to go with for your wedding gown, or are we gatekeeping
so
that?
I've done a vintage gown. It's from my favorite era of Dior by John Galliano. And then that's all you'll That's all I'll let.
We're going 90s, 80s. You can just blink twice.
It's 90s.
90s.
But I'm planning, I think, 2 more outfits after the main dress.
Mm-hmm.
And I love how I'd say I'm planning because they're in planning stages right now. And I know that it will come together.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I'm aware that I have less than 4 weeks.
And do you feel like lots of pressure as a fashion stylist and brand consult to just – do you feel like a lot of pressure from people that they're expecting really big things from you and you have to really get it right?
Yes. Like the first thing people say to me is like, what are you wearing? I can't wait to see what you're wearing. And I feel like there's so much pressure on my outfit. And I have a friend who's also a stylist and she got married like 7 years ago. And she goes, I feel sorry for you, Caro. Like no one looked at weddings when I got married and now it's like wedding, all the photos. And I was like, I know, like it's like pressure that I'm putting on myself that I know that I don't really need to put on myself, but because I look at everything and I know what looks good on different people, I actually don't know how to dress myself. Like I feel like I just wear the same thing every day and you like keep to your style. And then for my wedding, I'm like, what am I actually doing? What am I doing?
How do you do it? Because you said you're like wearing a vintage piece. Do you look on Pinterest and like get ideas or see what other brides like? What's your whole process of like trying to style and find an outfit?
So I always thought I would be very low key. And I was like, I'm going to wear just an off the rack fashion dress, whatever, whoever's made the best white dress at the time, like a Chanel or a Dior, and just be like a fashion girl and just like not care. Turns out I do care. So I have a few vintage like sites and like Instagrams that I stalk, and they specialize in wedding dresses. So I've been stalking them maybe for
What's your favorite one?
So I love Tab Vintage.
Yes,
and
I
they're
love
based
them.
in LA. And then I'll divulge that later. Then there's a Specialist where I got mine from. And then there's other really great ones like Opulent Addict and One of a Kind Archive. I went there in London to try on some things, and obviously First Dibs, but it's just like a real hunt and you have to be so onto it. And I just didn't realize – I kind of probably left it too late. Like these people like don't take appointments, virtual appointments. Like even if you got something from Danielle Franco or Vivienne Westwood, you can do a virtual appointment. They're like, absolutely not. We don't do that. You have to come visit us. And the process in which I got my dress, like it was so stressful because where I got it from, they were like, if you don't pay for this in an hour, it will go back on the market. A girl's coming in tomorrow to try it on in New York, and I just like couldn't take any chances on it. And this is probably going to freak you out. It still hasn't arrived, and it's arriving on Tuesday, and I haven't tried it on.
Oh, no.
And
I love how you said you work under pressure.
Hoping, praying that it works.
Well, with your resources, if it doesn't work, I'm sure you'll figure it out.
I'm sure I'll have a backup.
And I think it's quite cool that you're wearing something so like vintage and archived as well, because you know, you see like you watch the Kardashians or see Kim, she's always wearing something from like 90s wardrobe, whatever. And we haven't really seen that enter or hit the wedding market yet.
Yeah, I feel like
brides.
It's definitely an up and coming trend. Like I think people are now turning to vintage. Like it definitely is red carpet. People are starting to wear vintage. So I felt like I wanted to wear something that no one else had really worn. And I think maybe that's and
no one else can get. Then after.
Yeah. My illness as a stylist, like I want something that no one's seen before, or you're like, oh, that's from that place or that's from that designer. And I kind of did wish that I didn't have this illness, because I look at Danielle Franco all the time and I probably go on her website every night and I go, do I just want to wear one of these dresses because they're so beautiful, but I just wanted something different. But am I shooting myself in the foot by wearing something different?
No, I'm sure you always look pretty spot on.
Okay, cool.
Any outfit you wear.
Thank
and
you.
then with accessories, how do you go about, do you have them down pat, or is that still?
Yeah, I actually do have that down pat, because the dress is vintage. It needs like a modern edge to it. Like I'm going to get like a really pointy high shoe, because I think if you wear anything too romantic, I feel like it goes down that vintage world.
Yeah.
And then I'm really devastated because I find accessories easier. So I actually bought these like amazing satin slingback ivory Manolos, like, again, 2 years ago. It's so random, the things that I did decide to do. But I don't think they go with the dress, so maybe I can wear them with my second or third outfit.
Nice. And what, are you going a veil or no?
Or
Or is that secret?
Everyone thinks that I should do a veil. They're like, please, just do a veil. Look, heaven. I don't know if it's very me because, again, I don't think I'm a bridey bride, but maybe I will do a veil. Yeah. But I need to source this veil.
I'm sure you'll get it done. And so has there been, you know, like what kind of wedding theme are you planning for your wedding? Run us through that whole look.
I wish I had a theme because I felt like if I had a theme, everything would be easier. And maybe this is why I'm finding the process of planning my wedding so hard, because it's not like, you know, like summer in Italy or whatever. Like it's very me and very personal. And it's my wedding's in Sydney. And it is like I have minimal style. So I just want to keep it like quite low key and like the details to be like, that looks like Caroline. And I love how I call it my wedding. It's Caroline and James's wedding, but it's my creative control. But yeah, it doesn't really have, definitely has a mood, and I wouldn't know how to describe it. Like Georgie probably describes it as like a little bit like French cool girl party chic. That's how we're describing it.
French cool girl party chic.
Like when we're in the workroom and I call her office, like that's how we describe it. But yeah, I think it's just a bit effortless and a bit minimal, but still with really good details.
And did you come to that idea by basically just describing it to Georgie, or?
I actually came with my own mood board. So I had like put out all the flowers that I liked, all the vibes that I liked. I had my like reception venue locked in, and then she helped me find the ceremony venue, and it kind of all came together in that way.
Yeah. Did you get all the photos from like Pinterest, Instagram?
I'd say Instagram. Like I've been saving things like a lot from like florists and chefs and I don't know, different events overseas. So over time I'd accumulated, and then I kind of had this big board and we really narrowed it down because it did feel a bit all over the place.
Yeah. And are you adding, because we've interviewed Kat and we interviewed Alexandra Joan Phillips yesterday, who both had your sister's brand in the Roundhouse.
Oh, yes.
Plates, custom made. Are we going custom made?
I'm going custom.
In the Roundhouse plates?
Yes. Elise is making me some custom plates, but they're very different to anything that probably people have seen before. And maybe like, again, probably unexpected and I don't know, quite personal. I think.
So a couple of personal nice touches there as well.
Yeah.
Great. You know, with your styling background, what are your top tips for brides who want to incorporate high fashion elements into their wedding?
I definitely think this is a place where it can be done at the Hens. So my Hens is actually next weekend, and I feel like there's so many moods that you can go in for your wedding that I think at the end of the day you want to look like classic, and you can look back on the photos and be like, I still love my dress, and you have to wear things that are good for your body. And sometimes I feel like fashion dresses don't necessarily do that. Like I really admire people that wear like a fashion gown and it's like a sack and they look amazing, or like, you know, like something like Simone Rocha and it's so ethereal. But I definitely am pushing my fashion agenda at my Hens, and I was showing my sister and her best friend my outfits earlier this week, and I've known my sister's best friend since I was like 8 years old. And she was like, no, you are not wearing that. And I was like, please just let me have my fashion girl moment. Like I know it's a sack, but I just want to live in my sack. So I'm definitely I'm doing that. So like a few fashion moments at the Hens, and then I think where you can really turn to that fashion moment again is like maybe your like party outfit, your second outfit at your wedding should you wish to change, which I feel like most people do now. Like I feel like I'm really into keeping like quite traditional and beautiful for like the ceremony, and then putting a twist on it for a second outfit, or vice versa. Like I was always thinking I want to do like a tweed suit and walk down the aisle in, but it wasn't really conducive to where I'm getting married. So I'm like, oh, it's like if I was doing like a cool town hall thing, I'd wear like a little suit and then a dress. But I think maybe a second outfit.
And run us through your Hens. And for those that are listening that are based in America, that's a bachelorette. We call it Hens.
Yes.
In Australia, what are you doing for it? Can you tell us?
So I'm having like 25 friends at Osborne House, which is this hotel down south. I'm really bad at geography. And it's funny because it's kind of a clash because it's called Caro XCX, like Charlie XCX, and it's like BRAT. And everyone was confused because they're like, is it BRAT themed? You're going to have to wear speed dealer sunglasses. And I'm like, no. Just like come as you are. Like just keep it chic. And so it's going to be there. We're going to have a lunch and then party on there at the night. And I think a few girlfriends are staying the weekend. And it's kind of like I guess it's a contrast because that hotel is very beautiful and very wholesome and serene. And then I'm coming in hot with a bachelorette party.
Yeah. Are you doing anything like traditional bachelorette hens there? Like, are we seeing?
No, I think there are no games.
No strippers.
No
just
strippers. Just
a beautiful,
me and my friends.
Yeah.
Just
nice.
being our rat bag selves.
Now, can you share some key details you're most excited about for your wedding? Anything that little things that you can share with us?
I think I'm really excited about the flowers.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm going quite interesting with my flowers, but also, I don't know, like they're romantic yet, like, I don't know, it's quite sculptural. I'm getting some like linenware made. So I feel like that's going to be at the venue, and I feel like it's just like little details that people probably won't notice, but it's just like things that I love and I notice and I care about.
Yeah. And I think your wedding planner is really good at doing different weddings with like beautiful personalized touches that people often don't see before. Very original kind of stuff that's different.
Yeah. And again, my wedding invites are currently in the mail. I don't know how Ozpost works, but even just my wedding invite, like I think I had a friend, Sam Pauletto, create it, and he does so many wedding invitations in Australia and Sydney. And he was just like, wow, I do think that this is something new that I haven't really done before. So I've kind of pushed the envelope with that, pun intended, not intended, but just I've kind of pushed him into a different style that he had never really done before. So I just, again, wanted to create all these things that felt new and I hadn't seen.
And he does some like amazing stuff. He does all the calligraphy kind of hand-drawn things, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does mainly calligraphy, but he's doing like he did my save the date in pencil and it looked very like lo-fi.
Each individual one or?
Well, that was digital, and then this one, the invite is done by pen, and everyone was just like, wow, I didn't really think that you would choose such a lo-fi kind of style. And I was like, no, I just wanted something different.
Yeah,
but
cool.
Maybe I'm going too different.
No, it sounds great. So we've got some listener questions people have written in.
Yeah.
Specifically for you. So what advice do you have for brides about choosing a wedding dress that is both stylish and timeless?
I definitely think look to designers that you like personally for your everyday fashion. Like it's so easy to go to those bridal designers because they do such an incredible job. Like they're beautiful, the fabric's amazing, the cut's amazing, but it's kind of nice to look at what you like day to day in terms of like silhouette. And if you did like Loewe or something, like they do, I was holding my breath, but you know, like people do make like a white dress, and it's kind of nice to put that kind of runway fashion dress moment in.
Great. And different wedding heels?
Different shoes, of
course.
course.
What would you suggest for people like brands? Who does the best kind of heel, do you reckon?
Well, I'm a classic like 90s girl. I love Manolo, but I feel like I'm really short, so I need a high heel. Like I think Saint Laurent do amazing closed and closed toe options, and then open toe options. Obviously like Amina Muaddi do incredible wedding shoes. One thing again that I wish I had looked into earlier, like a custom Jimmy Choo shoe, because I saw on their website that they do custom and they do it in the store as well, and you can choose like your heel height material and things, which I think
That's
is really
cool.
special. And the lead time's not even that long. It's just because I've left it too late. It's like only 2 months or something.
I didn't even know that they did the custom
so
bridal
it's
shoe.
pretty incredible. You can do like lace, satin, leather.
Oh, cool. Something I haven't heard about. What are your thoughts on, I'm seeing like a lot of brides to be on TikTok and stuff doing like a whole wedding wardrobe. So they're having everything kind of set out. Is that something that you're seeing kind of coming through? It's like a bit of a new trend, like they're doing the Hens Day wardrobe, the welcome party.
Yeah, I definitely think you need it. And coming from someone that's getting married in a few weeks, I think that's the last thing that you want to think about, like, what am I wearing? So I definitely understand the whole thing of like planning out all your outfits. And I know there's like too much consumerism, but kind of like overbuying. Like, I make PowerPoint presentations that I send to my friends. I'm like, can you just tick what you like? And then I'll get that rather than like buying 20 things and returning them, because I feel like that's a bit wasteful. But I definitely think that you need to do it, because it's kind of the last thing you want to think about. You like, I don't want to think about like, what am I going to pack? Like, especially if you have a destination wedding, you want to have your set outfits, pack those and get those organized so you're not scrambling. Like, I really feel like it's a stressful time enough. Like, for my hens, I think I'm going to have 3 outfits for the night, and then I want to kind of get in my bridal era. So I'm going to buy some outfits for the surrounding days, and especially like the couple of days after your wedding. Like, you want to be like, oh, I want like a nice like easy dress to wear the day after. Like, I think it's such a shame to wear such a beautiful outfit just for one day and not think about the surrounding days.
Exactly. And next, someone wants to know, what is your dress code for your wedding?
Like, going back and forth with this, because it's actually just black tie. I find I didn't want to do like one of those descriptive themed ones, because I'm just not a theme kind of gal. But we're kind of thinking of verbiage on what we could do, because I want boys in like dinner suits, like a tux with a bow tie. But my venue doesn't lend itself to like a gown. Like, you can dress up, but I feel like it's a bit more relaxed and low key. And I was kind of thinking like, I don't know, like a bit formal chic, but like it's just easier to just do a blanket black tie. I feel like everyone gets it.
Yeah, I think you can get too confusing, and then most people don't actually understand it. And then that's when all the text messages come through like, can you clarify?
Yes. And
people
then
start to freak out.
And like, I didn't want to make a mood board to like force people to wear something that I wanted them to wear. So, but I don't know, I do really like when, like, I've seen on TikTok, people get married and they're very specific, and then all their guests look so uniform and it looks very clean.
Yeah,
like there is
the
something
block
to
color
it.
or
Or like pastels or something. Like, I totally get it, but I don't know, like, I think I spend my whole life dressing people, so I'm just like, I'm so excited to see everyone's looks, because I'm like, I didn't help with anything, so I can't wait to just see what everyone wears.
Yeah, nice. Have you got bridesmaids?
I don't. I have, well, my sister's the unofficial bridesmaid, but I just have friends getting ready with me. I have flower girls. I really wanted that moment, because I've probably the last out of my friendship group to have kids, and I just love all their kids so much. So I've got a pack of flower girls, but no bridesmaids.
Cute. I love that idea. That reminds me of Nadia Fairfax's wedding, how she
Yes.
had all the little flower girls.
Had all the little flower girls.
Yeah, very cute.
But I found that tricky to decide bridesmaids. I'm like, you know what? I'm just not going to do bridesmaids.
Good idea. It's too much anxiety and panic with them too.
Yeah.
Someone also wanted to know about accessorizing. I do know that we touched on it before, but are there any really good go-to accessory brands, earrings? What do we do for that?
I'm quite classic with my jewelry. Like, I especially think on the wedding day, maybe I am leaning more traditional than what I thought I would be, but I love maybe just like a little minimal diamond moment, and maybe that would be real. I love like pieces from like Tiffany & Co. or Olivia Bond diamonds, but also there's something in a cool like sculptural moment. Like, I always envisaged that I'd wear old Celine earrings from like the Phoebe Philo era. She had these like really great like pearls that were like misshaped and had like blue little dots on it, and I was like, I really want those as my earrings, but again, they don't really go with my outfit. I kind of think something sculptural from like that era, or like Kate or something, make really great gold earrings, but I always feel like it detracts from the look, so I like keeping it low key.
Well, you could probably do it for like one of your looks later on during the night and get those sculptural kind of earrings in, just to have them kind of shining through, you know. Last question from the audience. So how do you plan to ensure your wedding photography captures those fashion elements of your day?
So I actually have 2 photographers on the day. I'm using a more traditional like wedding photographer,
Who's that?
Bailey Vidalgo.
Yes.
Hopefully I'm saying her last name right. But I love Bailey's images, and because I do work in fashion, I didn't want to put pressure on a fashion photographer to have to capture all those like wedding moments because it's a lot for them and it's not what they're trained to do. So I have a friend of mine, Rob Tennant, doing more like candid, fun pictures. And I feel like I kind of like that reportage style of pictures where it's not like posed, and you know, I feel like when you get like a kind of like on film flash, like it kind of creates that fashion moment a little bit more. And even if you had like disposable cameras or a few friends that, you know, how everyone has those like little Canon digital cameras, like I feel like getting those like little crops. A lot of people now also get people to do like content as well. So you have your photographer, then you have like someone capturing your content.
Are you getting a content creator?
Yes, but he's also a friend. So he's also a photographer, but he's Gen Z and really young and really cute. So he's going to come and do all iPhone mood because he's like, I know that you like things on iPhone. So he's going to do all my iPhone content for me. And it just takes like pressure off my friends and my sister on the day. Like my sister's like, I want to enjoy the day and not like be on my phone. So we thought that would be a good idea.
A lot of people are getting the content creators because I think people just want to see also – you do want that more authentic, as you said, like getting like a more editorial kind of those photos kind of in the moment rather than just posing or whatever.
Yeah, like
people are enjoying that a lot more too to see.
I feel like those posed photos, like it's nice for family, of course, but they're kind of like, what do you do with them? And it's like all those photos that you like that are in the moment. So I'm definitely covered on all bases. Like I will have those traditional photos that I will keep forever and will cherish forever. In the moment fashion photos, and then content in case like anyone did want videos, or like if you do want to make a TikTok, like I couldn't imagine the stress of like setting up a tripod on the day and being like, hello, I'm going to make my TikTok now.
Yeah. And has there anything like during your wedding planning process been like surprising that you just thought, wow, like during your planning whole process that you didn't kind of took you by surprise?
I just wish I started everything earlier. And I cannot say that enough. As a last minute work well under pressure, I just wish I'd thought about everything earlier. Like I am getting everything in time, but there are a few things where I just wish I had more time to think about or more time to research or look at things. And I do feel like there are things that I missed out on because I didn't leave enough time.
And that goes through to like booking your suppliers. You can't get sometimes those ones that you really want because they're already booked out.
Yeah, and people are so onto it. So I would say start earlier than you think. And I don't know, it's that thing where I always know that there'll be another outfit out there. So I leave it really last minute, but all my friends are begging me. They're like, can you please not be at the DHL facility the morning of your wedding to try to get your dress? Like, please be a bit more organized because I know that there's always more, like there's always more, there's always something new and there's always something else. But I think you really have to draw the line and be like, no, I've made this decision and I'm going to live with the decision and make peace with it.
Yeah. And are there any kind of other final tips that you can leave brides to be?
Definitely like try and like on everything that you want to try on and like mood board all the things that you want to mood board and go in all the weird directions that you want to go in, and then you really need to feel it all out, and then will settle on what you feel is right for you. Like I went and tried on like wedding dresses where I just like laughed at myself and I was like, no, this is so not me. But you need to explore it. Like you can't cut yourself off being like, oh, that doesn't suit me or that's not me, or you just need to be able to discover yourself, I think.
Great. I love that advice. Well, thanks so much for coming on.
No, thank you for having me.
We'll do our planning episode together with Georgie next.
Yeah, where she locks me and chains me to the table.
Yes. And we've got to get to it because it's 4 weeks away.
It is 4 weeks away.
Yeah. Oh, also another question actually. What are you doing in the lead up beauty-wise to your wedding?
Okay, so I keep saying this to my facialist because I'm like, do I need to do anything? And she's like, no. And I think she's just too nice and too supportive of me. But I think they were like what Georgie, my wedding planner, and my facialist were saying, they're like, you're kind of always ready for events and you don't even realize it. But no, there are things to do. I think I've been using Rationale and I cannot.
Skin's beautiful.
Oh, thank you. I've been using Rationale for maybe like 5 years. So I feel like that's why my skin's like good to go, because I feel like it's the healthiest it's ever been. So I would say like stick to a skincare routine. I get monthly facials. I'm going to start LED lights, like those hectic ones they have at the salon, not just a mask at home. I got my hair cut. That's why it's quite fresh. So I could grow it out a little bit. You know, when you first get a haircut,
You got your hair cut last week.
so like 5, 6
So your
weeks
wedding's
out.
in 4 weeks. You're not going to get your hair cut again. That's
Because I
done.
kind of feel like it just needs to, like, you know, when you first cut your hair and you're like, oh, it's a bit awkward, you need to like let that live in. What else? It's more been like getting my body together because I like eating. So I'm probably still not there, and it's again too much pressure on yourself, but I just have like been trying to get into like a really healthy era, exercise a lot, eat a lot of greens, drink a lot of broth, have a lot of collagen gummies. I don't know what else there is.
You just want to feel good, don't you? You want to feel like your best version of yourself.
Yeah,
You don't want to be hung up on, it's a big day.
Yeah. Like I don't do that many extreme beauty things. I do want to get the salmon
Sperm.
Yeah,
I know, me too.
and everyone says how amazing it is, but then again, everyone's like, you don't need it. Maybe it's because of like, I have Asian skin. Maybe I don't need it because I am lucky that I have the genetics of no wrinkles right now. But
I know.
I would get that because everyone says it's amazing.
I know. I need to get it. Well, we had Jade from Driven by Beauty on the podcast. I don't know if you follow her on TikTok. She's hilarious. And she was like, that the salmon sperm is amazing.
And
the
all
best.
of my friends that have gotten it, they're like, it's the best thing I've ever done.
Because I think it works like a filler, doesn't it? Or like an
It's just like
Botox,
you're
like
plump.
anti-wrinkle.
You're like plump and like glowy and you just look so pretty.
Yeah.
But maybe I think in the lead up, I'll just rest, eat lots of greens, eat lots of fish and drink lots of broth. Like I know that sounds a bit lame and a bit Whole Foodsy, but
Are you making the broth yourself?
no. I just I get it from the supermarket or the broth bar, but I'm just sitting there sipping my broth.
Good. Well, we're
the
looking
clean
forward to
eating.
it. You're going to be glowing.
Hopefully.
Thanks so much for coming on the podcast.
thank you.
We loved
It
it.
was
We
so
can't
nice to
wait. We'll
talk.
have to do a post
Do a wrap
episode. Yeah.